All right. So a couple days ago, Taylor Swift appeared on a podcast with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. And obviously, the main purpose of this appearance was to announce the release of her next album. But what I thought was really interesting, and I think it'd be cool for you to talk about, because obviously you're a big fan of sourdough. And there was this little tiny side conversation in the podcast that I thought was really interesting. And she talked about how she's into sourdough. It's like her latest obsession. And obviously, Taylor Swift is super known for dropping Easter eggs, like little cryptic things in her Instagram posts or just interviews and things of that nature. And she said something about the sourdough. She said, I spend about 60% of my time talking about sourdough. And obviously, everyone's going crazy over this little tiny comment that she made, and they've tied it to the Super Bowl because the next Super Bowl is going to be Super Bowl 60. And I even pulled up a comment here that says, Super Bowl 60 will be at Levi's Stadium, which is the home of Sourdough Sam. So what do you think of all of the speculation, and do you think it's true?
Oh, I think that it could be true. It could not be true. One thing I would say is, even, for my wife and I, what we do, like with our vlogs, people think the same thing of us when I buy watermelon. So if I buy watermelon in the vlogs, people think that's a huge signal we're having another baby, because when Judy was pregnant, every single kid always craved watermelon.
Really?
So I would vlog me going to the grocery store now more than ever. And guess what? We just love to eat watermelon, so it has nothing to do. But what I also know, too, after so many years of doing this, and I've never actually talked about this, I'm also understanding that's a thing. So I'll buy the watermelon and go, I'm getting a watermelon.
You play it up, yeah.
I'm just playing into it. Now it's just a big joke. So for Taylor Swift, of course, but I would say maybe a contradictory kind of perception of all of it doesn't mean anything. What means more is the fact that she's so famous that when you say everyone, well, I want you to tell me, go to those comments and count how many everyone is. It actually might be a small amount compared to the masses that are just like, oh my gosh, Taylor's with her boyfriend. When are they going to get married? Or, oh, this is the first time she's been on a podcast, right? You just tally it up. What's most important to consider, or my big takeaway is, she is so massively influential, similar to Judy, like in terms of like, she's got such a big fandom that they can take whatever she says and make it a thing. And their imagination goes wild on it.
It's not just a big fandom, though. It's also a strong core fandom as well.
Same thing with Judy,
Exactly.
okay? So Judy, by the way, I'm not making a comparison. Judy has 1.8 million followers on her vlog. 1.8 million comments on Taylor Swift's post, okay? So she's way more. The psychology is the same.
Yeah.
When you get so connected with anybody, okay? For her, she's a celebrity. Taylor Swift, my wife, creator on YouTube. You just create a bond, and it's kind of the same way you would have with a friend. And I was thinking about this for Taylor Swift. People that went to her concerts in the early 2000s are probably bringing their kids now to their concerts. She
it's like a generational
she
thing
picked
now.
Sabrina Carpenter, which my kids are kind of watching, which I know, like, for some parents, like, oh, that's really inappropriate, right? That direction she went. But she's smart. So I guess maybe even somebody said it, her going on the Eras Tour and having Sabrina Carpenter as the opener makes her relevant for decades, potentially, like another 10 to 20 years. She can do anything and it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
It's the context of her career, right? And how much people love her that make it a thing. Something that if in another life could just be she's obsessed over sourdough and talks about it 60% of the time.
Like, how would you tie that to the importance of creating like a brand for yourself?
Be loyal to your audience that are loyal to you. You listen to them, you talk to them, you care about them, you show up a lot, to her credit. she has put out so many albums, but even in between albums, she'll do these random like giveaways to her fans, or she'll do something special for a certain fan. And she's always, and I really think genuinely she's probably a good person, even though some people think like she's evil behind the scenes. No, I think that she just genuinely cares about the people that love listening to her music, and she's been consistent about that. And of course, with her amazing talent combined and doing these epic tours, it creates this loyal bond. So as a creator, what can we learn from it? Show up often, create content as much as you possibly can, get better at it, adjust, right? Have people like Sabrina Carpenter as your opener. So the example would be like maybe collaborate with new, fresh talent or other creators, so that you just don't go off into the sunset and not as irrelevant. She's thinking about the future in that sense. Guess what? There is a creator like that. I believe I talked about Judy in her own world. She's like that. Mr. Beast is definitely like that. And there are just so many other people. But the one thing that you can probably equate to all three of those people, my wife Judy, Mr. Beast, Taylor Swift, they've been doing it a lot for a long time and they never quit.
Do you think everything she does is strategic, or do you think there's some...
I'll tell you her one strategy, which is exactly what Benji said. Make great art, show up often, and care about your audience. Like there's this... Somebody was talking about this during her Eras tour that I think it really spoke to me, especially during this kind of era coming out of COVID and having like lots of political strife and just like division in general, right? Which is that the internet is very good at making, like, it's a giant machine of a bunch of wires hooked together. They're really good at making people feel things, right? It makes people feel emotions. The easiest way to get people to show up and come back is make them feel like angry or scared or fearful, right? What she has chosen to do is to make people feel good and included and like cared about, basically, and to like make them feel joyful, basically. And that building that over the long term is actually a harder job to do than to make people feel fearful. But the highs are higher. You see that with Taylor Swift. And actually, guess what? The lows are also higher too. Like those people are ride or die with her until the end of time, right? And so if you commit to your audience, it's the easiest strategy ever. Care about the people you're serving and make things that are great for them. It's that simple.
She has debatably one of the most loyal audiences of any fandom I've ever...
Exactly.
And I'm not a Swiftie. I don't fully understand it, but that, like, the way you describe it makes a lot of sense.
There's only one other person that comes close. She's not a fan of Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Oh,
that's very true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's the same concept though. High highs and honestly higher lows as well for him in a lot of ways, because it has a buttressed base in a certain kind of way.
Yeah. Do you guys know how much she made from that Eras tour?
Oh, I've always wanted to know. Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
And so are we talking gross or net profit? What? How much she makes?
Total gross revenue. And you can
gross
even
revenue?
guess.
Okay, yeah. Gross revenue, I'm going to say it's like over, like close to $1 billion.
Yeah, I was going to say $1 billion or $2 billion.
How many shows do you think she performed?
Oh yeah, man. I think I did calculate this. Wasn't it? Oh, it was in a 2-year period, right?
I don't know how long.
Yeah, it was a long period of time. I think it was like 110.
It's more, but you're close.
Yeah, in the hundreds.
Total shows was 149 shows.
Wow.
And if I give you the rough estimate of gross earnings per show, do you think you could figure it out?
Gross earnings per show?
Yeah, average per show was $13.94 million.
So there you go. That's 100 times 10 million.
Yeah.
It says total gross revenue was about $2.08 billion in ticket sales alone.
There you go. That's what catering to your audience will do.
Yeah. That doesn't include merch sales. That doesn't include revenue from the movie.
Streams or anything like that.
If we're still recording, there is one thing I would say for creators. Those are once in a lifetime kind of person. So your takeaways that you said that she creates.
She cares about her audience.
Yeah.
Shows up often.
Yeah. And then
makes content for them. Great content for them.
Those are things like the amount of money she makes. Guess what? In my like little world, the amount of money you can make if you do those 3 things is way better than what you will make in a job.
Yeah.
I really do believe that.
Yeah, I
If
totally
you do
agree.
those for a long period of time and the dream life you can live. So, yeah, it's interesting. Those numbers, of course, like she's like filling up stadiums multiple nights in a row. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. What people in general, but I think creators forget is how much can you make from doing what you do on content, and how like life-changing would that be? The way that we look at that number, $2 billion, is like, whoa, that's crazy in 2 years. There's a number for you as a creator that you can't even fathom that you're going to make.
Yeah.
But you have to do exactly what she did, but you have to do that for your own audience, and you have to do it for yourself, and you have to start today and do it for as long as you possibly can sustain it.
By the way, the Eras Tour ran for about 1 year and 9 months from start to finish.
Yeah. I
And
knew it
took
was
place
almost 2 years.
took place in 51 different cities.
That's crazy.
So you want to hear a fun fact? Coldplay either did more shows or they made more money.
Speaking of Coldplay.
Really?
What?
Speaking of Coldplay,
What?
the recent
Oh, yeah. No, because they did more locations, even though they were smaller, and more shows or whatever like that. So they had,
volume game.
yeah, it was a volume game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's crazy.